On this season of Destination Earth, Akane and I head back to her home country of Japan to explore the southern reaches of the island. Join us as we make our way across Nagasaki Prefecture, as we learn about its atomic past, discover its incredible countryside, and hike some of Japan's most scenic trails. Where are we off to today? Let's find out. Hi everyone, so today we're looking at starting our first of many adventures here in Japan. As you saw in the last video, up until this point, we've been in quarantine at Akane's parents' house. We've been here for about 2 weeks now, and now that we're done, we're ready to move on and explore somewhere new.
Now that we've finished, we've hopped on a plane and flew south to Nagasaki, a place neither of us have been.
After our 2.5-hour flight from Tokyo to Nagasaki, we took a bus from the airport to the city center. We were fortunate. As we were traveling during the COVID-19 pandemic, most hotels had a lot of free space and had heavily discounted prices. Because of this, we were able to get a spot right downtown, allowing us to explore with ease without spending a fortune. Alright, so we're ready to start our adventure here in Nagasaki, and we're going to be going to Inasa Observatory Park. So it's a place where we can actually get up to the top of a mountain, overlook the city, and we're going to go so we can get both a view during the day and during the evening. So we're going to start out by our hotel here downtown. We're going to take about a 20-minute walk, and then we got a special treat on how we're going to get to the top. The busy city center had all these over-street walkways that allowed pedestrians to cross without waiting for a light. This was a great system that Akane and I used a lot. Being so central, we decided that we would forego any public transportation and walk to the base of Mount Inasa. We got glimpses of the mountain as we walked, with the views of the tower at the top. We had read that the views from this location were stunning, and was considered one of the best places in the world for views over an entire city.
Japan has a lot of mountains, and Nagasaki was no different.
That's right, so every place that we've been in Japan so far, there's been tons of hills. And although these are stunning for sure, when you're walking a lot, they pose a bit of a problem. Now, looking at this hill, we knew we might be in for a bit of a challenge. So, unlike our typical route up a mountain, which is climbing, today we're going to be taking the Nagasaki ropeway. So it's going to be a really fun and interesting way to be able to get a ride up the mountain, get some really great views, and we do have some colors starting to pop, even though it's the middle of November here. So hopefully we'll get some really nice colors, and then, of course, on top, a view of the city. Getting closer, we began looking for our route up the mountain. We knew it was close, but all we could find was a shrine. As it turns out, they were right next to each other. Heading up the 330 meters, or 1,092 feet, you'll get a spectacular view of the city and the surrounding areas. On a clear day, you can see Mount Unzen, a national park east of the city, and the Goto Islands to the west, a location we'll be visiting later in the series. As you climb, you'll learn in both Japanese and English the history of the area, and some of the things you should be looking for while going up. With just one other couple with us, we had lots of space to look around and take in the views. The stunning city below gave way to mountainside villages and homes. You could see that these mountains were endless, only echoing our experience exploring this section of the world. As we reached the top, we were ready to explore the tower and take in the million-dollar views we had heard so much about. Well, that was a great little 5-minute ride up the mountain. We're not even to the observatory yet, and we've already getting some really great views. So I am super excited to see what we're going to have when we get to the top. We're going to get that 360-degree view. So you've probably heard the music here playing in the background. And here's a funny story. We didn't hear it when we were actually there. It wasn't until I started looking back through the footage that I seen it show up.
At the top were a bunch of radio towers, and the microphone attached to the camera must have been picking up the signal and recording it to the video. a very strange and funny surprise.
So knowing that it's there now, you'll have to bear with us as we talk, as it's an unexpected nuisance we didn't know that existed. Once we reached the top, we followed the well-marked path to the location of the viewing tower. It seemed like others also knew about this incredible spot, as cars filled the parking spaces and people were out snapping photos and clearly enjoying the views. Before reaching the tower, you could sit with a cup of coffee or nibble on a snack from one of the many vendors found here and look over the city. When I say there were no bad views, I mean it. The tower itself consisted of two parts, a glassed-in section where you could sit and enjoy the views from inside, out of the heat in the summer or the cold in the winter, or at the very top, an open-air section where you had the best, uninterrupted views of the city.
So the view is absolutely stunning. I love how they look. I love the landscape and houses on the mountain. We thought the city is small, but it's quite big and really beautiful. We're glad we are here, and we're glad we took $1.
Well, I can't think of a better place than this to get a view of the sunset and the city. So far it's been absolutely wonderful. The views are truly 360, and as the sun goes down we're looking forward to the lights turning on in the city, and it should be spectacular. It's really starting to fill up. I think people know this is the place to go when in Nagasaki. Arriving towards sunset, our goals of seeing the city in the day and night were coming true. The bonus of an incredible setting sun only added to the experience. At the top, the first thing that hits you is the view of the water and the mountains, coupled with the joys of the golden yellow sunset. Our eyes glowed with the warmth and the views. Like all great port cities, the contrast of the city and the ocean is unmatched. Living in a port city ourselves, back in Nova Scotia, Canada, we felt at home, despite being a world away. I'm gonna take a cue from the sun and let my voice fade. For now, enjoy the views of the city as Akane and I take it all in before heading back down the mountain on the ropeway, before reconvening with you to let you know what's coming next. So we have finished up for our evening tonight. It was absolutely wonderful. The views from the top are fantastic. You can't go wrong by going up there. You have the option of taking the ropeway up and down like we did. It's about 2,500 Japanese yen round trip for the two of us. If you don't want to spend the money, you can hike up, you can take your own personal vehicle up, and it doesn't cost you anything to go and see the views. So it's really great, whether you're visiting or whether you're local. This is a fantastic opportunity to get some amazing views of the city. So this is the last thing that we have on today for today. We will be back obviously tomorrow. We're going to be exploring Nagasaki here in the city. We're going to be walking around, going to some really cool places. So looking forward to seeing you all in the next video.